Hey guys, this is LearnChessTV. In this video, I'll be showing you a game that happened just yesterday between Vishwanathan Anand and Magnus Carlsen. Anand was playing white and Carlsen black. The game went on like this. e4. Carlsen chose to play the Scandinavian defense. Queen d6 variation. He played c6 because he wanted to avoid the knight coming on to here. So that was the key intention. Knight exchange. Anand tried to exchange his queens because he has double bishop advantage, but then there's a major weakness of the double pawns here as well. So he got to take to consideration into that as well. Carlsen is trying to move his pawns on the queen side. Play b5, a5, b4, bring his rooks here, take some advantage on the queen side. Let's see how Anand would counter this. He immediately brought his rook here. Looks like a pretty good move. a5, rook takes pawn. Now this pawn is under attack. Carlsen offers a rook exchange. Anand accepts it. Now this pawn is under attack. So how do we defend this pawn? I see the only way to defend this pawn is bringing my rook here. If at all the pawn is moved, then the pawn would be captured, and then the rook would capture the pawn. So there's no way to defend the pawn except for playing this. Carlsen chooses to capture the bishop. Now the opposite colored bishops remain, but the pawn structure over here gets straightened out. The reason why Anand gave away a pawn here on a3 is because there's no other way for Anand to bring his rook into the game. If at all he plays rook d1 check, the black king can just move his king over to e7, and this pawn is still under attack. So there's no way to defend the pawn apart from giving away the pawn, and Anand considered that this is an opposite colored bishop in game, so he could probably get a draw in this one. So he thought of sacrificing the pawn and still get a draw. But let's see how the game went though. Carlsen obviously didn't want to exchange the rooks here. If rook takes pawn, rook takes rook, bishop takes rook, and it would be an opposite bishop endgame. Bishop d3, king f6. Carlsen tries to exchange a pawn in the center. Carlsen plays rook c5 because he wants to capture the bishop here by giving away the bishop on this one, on e3. Anand again offers a rook exchange because he wants the opposite colored bishops on board. Bishop g1, king g2, bishop d4. This is a pretty interesting endgame, guys. There's a lot that you can learn from this one. Rook e3 check. It gets really interesting from here. King g2. If king f2, obviously black could just move the rook from here and then give a check from the bishop on d4. And after king g2, black plays bishop f6 with the intent of bringing his bishop to h4. Carlsen does that. And after bishop h4, there's obviously threats of rook e2 check or even rook g3 check. And then this pawn is still under attack. So Anand avoided both of these moves by playing bishop f3. Carlsen played rook b3, bd1, rook g3 check. Attacking the bishop now. Rook d2 check, king g1. King h5, bishop g2, king h4. Carlsen is bringing his king as close as possible in order to have a good grip on the pawns of white. Bishop f2 check, bishop e3. Anand resigned here, guys. Obviously there's not many moves that white has here. Obviously white cannot move his bishop onto any other place because the rook is controlling the king. And if at all white played king h1, black would just play king g3, attacking the bishop on g2. And if at all white played bishop f1, then it would just be a checkmate and it would all be over. And after king g3, if at all white played something like rook a1, then black could just capture rook into g2, and then there's the impending checkmate on h2. And in this position, guys, after bishop e3, if white played something like rook c4, black could just play something like g5 with the intention of getting this pawn forward, f4 and f3. So after f takes g5, there's a check, obviously. Black could just play f4, and there's no way for white to defend this pawn. And if white played something like rook a4, a waiting move, black can play king takes g5 with the intention of playing f3. And obviously white cannot play king h1 because then obviously the intentions would change. There's a possibility of checkmating here. Rook d1 check, king h2, bishop g1 check, king h1, bishop f2 check, king h2, bishop g3 checkmate. So in this position, Anand obviously didn't have too many choices, and that is why he resigned in the end game. And we can see that we can learn a lot from these kind of end games, guys. And this was definitely a thorough analysis of how it could have gone. I hope you liked the video. If you liked it, please hit the like button. Please follow my channel. Please consider subscribing to my channel. Thank you, guys.